everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Explore the Spectrum. Today, I'm joined by Alex Manners. How are you doing, Alex?
I'm really well at the moment, thank you.
It's wonderful to have you on here. Thank you for taking time to join us. Now, you do guest speaking, and your history of how you got into this industry is your life story. Am I right?
Yes, that's right. I started to speak about my life living with Asperger's on the radio and on television and write articles about it. And then from there, I got into public speaking, going around the UK, presenting talks on my experiences and to educate and inspire people about Asperger's and about autism.
I think that it's encouraging to hear somebody doing so well after having different difficulties and having challenges thrown before you throughout most of your childhood. Now, you talk a lot about different experiences you had at school, and I imagine that those are some of the different things that you speak about when you're presenting. What are some of the elements that you hope to convey to the general public?
I think what I hope to convey with my talks is actually, I want to educate people about what actually Asperger's and what actually autism is, because I think a lot of people have a preconceived idea about what it is. And that's what I want to try and get across, that everyone with Asperger's and everyone with autism is completely different. And I also want to inspire people, to understand that just because you may have certain circumstances or situations going on in your life, don't let those circumstances or situations hold you back from what you want to achieve. Because I had a lot of challenges growing up. And yes, they were really terrible at the time, but I didn't let those challenges, hold me back from what I'm now achieving.
So, Alex, if you don't mind sharing, what would be some motivational or encouragement that you might be able to give to somebody that might be 10, 11, or 12 and is struggling right now, either academically or at home? What would be your words of encouragement to them?
Well, when I was first diagnosed with Asperger's at the age of 10, my dad told me that it was a positive thing that gave me special powers. And that's, what I would tell any young person who's maybe just been diagnosed or is struggling. I would say focus on your, what I call superpowers, the things that you can do that maybe other people can't do, or the things that you can do really, really well, the skills that you have. Because I think that everyone with autism will have a superpower or a few superpowers that make them unique and are positive traits of their autism. So that's one thing I would say. And also, I would say focus on the things that you're interested in. I'm obsessed with football, and football has helped me to cope. Football and soccer has helped me to cope with many of the challenges that I've had to face as a result of having Asperger's. And it's also, through my love of football, allowed me to make loads and loads of friends throughout my life. And that's another thing that I would say, focus on the things that you really, really enjoy and the things that you're really, really interested in, because they can really benefit your everyday life. So those are the two key things that I would say to anybody, any young person who might be struggling at the moment.
I think that that's wonderful. Each person is so uniquely different when it comes to this diagnosis, and each has a set of skills and a set of detriments, right? And it's often the detriments that we look at first. But if we can reposition our way of thinking into looking at what those skills are, either as a parent, as a professional, or as that person that's dealing with it themselves, it's going to make for a much happier experience. And you can find all kinds of ways to let that lend itself forward. So let me ask you this before we get to the end of this interview. If you were to talk to a professional, you give these different speaking engagements at schools and such, what would your message be to a professional that is frustrated with not being able to get somebody closer to their therapy goals or further down the road academically?
I would always say, that it doesn't matter whether you are brilliant academically or whether you're brilliant at something else. Everyone is unique. And don't, think that everybody with Asperger's or everybody with autism has the same traits and has the same challenges, because everyone is completely different, whether they've got autism or not. But as the saying goes, once you've got met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. So I would always say to treat everyone as an individual.
All right. Well, that's beautifully stated. Now, if anyone wants to get a hold of you, if they'd like to include you in maybe a presentation, or if they're having something done at their company or so on, how would they reach out to you?
If they go onto my website, which is www.thealexmanners.com, then all of my contact details are on there. And I'm also on all the social medias like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube as well.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And to all of our viewers, thank you for joining us as we continue to explore the possibilities.